What's going on, everybody? Typical Toy Reviews back with another video. I thought I had to make something for you guys. I saw my subscriber count going up. We're real close to 100, so I figured that means everybody wants to see an updated room tour. I know this is kind of a little spoiler, but I thought it would make a cool video that some people might enjoy. Um, I got an arcade one-up Street Fighter machine, and as you can tell by the title, it only cost me $30. So we're gonna go ahead and start over here with the box. This video might be a little long because it's kind of story time. So this is upside down, I know, but it says Street Fighter 3 games, 129.99. And as you can see, the box is a mess. This is from kind of a local store by me. It's about 25 minutes away. They buy Walmart returns by the pallet, and probably at least 6 months ago they got a couple of these arcade one-up machines, and they were originally $179.99 at their store, which is not great because now you can get them for $200 from Walmart Direct. Um, but I kind of figured that they would have some issues because, why else would they be returns? So what happened was they had this one, marked it down to 130. Somebody bought it from their store, but then they returned it because they said it was missing pieces, the two joysticks, the power cable, and the hardware. And because of this, they marked it down to $28.99. Now, first when I was walking up, I thought they marked it up to $289, which would, it'd be weird. But then I saw $28.99. And so I asked them, well, is it missing the whole joystick assembly or just like the rods and the knobs? And they weren't sure. The guy said they didn't check the box. This is just what the customer said. The hardware was just the screws. I didn't realize at the time that this thing is held together by wooden dowels as well as screws. So I figured I could source the screws. I could buy a power cord for 25 bucks. Worst case scenario, the joysticks are like $17 for the whole assembly. So I'd get it home, open it up out of the box, and what I found right away was that the joysticks were there. They were just missing the ball knobs on the top. So this was great news because the ball knobs, I can get a pair for 12 bucks, or as I'll explain later, I got it for free. Um, but then I went into the manual to kind of see what kind of screws I needed, right? And that's when I noticed, wait a minute, there's no marquee in this box. And not only that, there's no panel here that goes above the kick plate. We can come up here. There's no top panel. There was no brackets to hold the monitor on, and there was no cross support. There's 4 boards, 3 or 4 boards that are cross supports. So at this point, I was pretty disheartened. Didn't even know if the machine worked, and I couldn't even put it together if I wanted to. But then I remembered that I had a laptop charger that was sitting in my room because my laptop was broken and I didn't need the charger anymore. To my surprise, as you can see here, even though there's big glare in the background, I plugged it in and it worked. It was kind of the same specs, like a 120 to 240 volt input or output, whatever it is, and it plugged in and the machine fired up. The first time the color was pretty bad, so I tried it again and it ended up working. So now I had the working monitor, the working joystick, you can play all 3 games, volume works, 1 2 player works. Now I just had to figure out how I was going to get this machine together. So as you can kind of tell there, use 2x4s for the cross supports. The screws are just a whole hodgepodge of screws. I think these ones are pretty accurate to the correct size. This one's a different color on top. Down here you can see I got double washers sticking out, different screw in the back. Of course, because that panel's here, you can see that 2x4. And then there's a piece of oak wood where the marquee would go, which I personally don't think looks that bad. It gives it kind of like an old 80s vibe. It would actually probably be pretty cool if I put another piece like that, and it would almost look like that's how it's supposed to be. But then the monitors is kind of held in by all these the 2 sideboards being pushed together. But for a little added security, we used the 2 holes that were on the top of the monitor, and we just strapped them in to the marquee replacement board. In the event that one of the walls came out and the monitor slipped, these it would be held up real easily. So then the joysticks, I still had the problem of no knobs, no dust covers. Well, I remembered we had Some of the early NES, like the original NES, I don't think they're technically fight sticks. They were like I don't know if they're called turbos. These ones were from the NES Advantage controllers, which were a little bit smaller than the big boy that had like the 6 buttons on it. And to my surprise, they screwed off. Not only did they screw off, they actually fit on these joysticks, and we had two of those, so I had two joysticks. And then for the dust covers, I was gonna use just metal washers, but I figured that probably would scratch. And now that I think about it, it's probably a pretty smooth surface, so there's really no reason it would scratch. But I went with kitty litter lid. So it's plastic. Just used a hole saw drill bit to cut those out, and they look a lot better on video. But there's a lot of frillies on the end. No matter how much sanding I did, I could not get rid of those. But gets the job done, and it doesn't look too bad. So that's the story of how I got a working machine for 30 bucks. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thanks for all subscribing and sticking with me. Once we get to 100, I'm going to do that room tour video for you guys. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon in the next one.